Every day, millions of Catholics around the world pray the Rosary, a devotion given to us by Jesus to help us grow closer to Him. But did you know that one pope in particular had a special devotion to the Rosary? And so it is through his intercession that we are able to obtain special graces through this devotion. He is, of course, Saint Pope Gregory the Great. In the year 540, a boy named Gregory was born into a noble Roman family. Now, his family was wealthy and respected, but what stood out most was their deep Christian faith. And so, Gregory's mother, Saint Silvia, raised him to love God above all things. And so, even as a young man, Gregory was a brilliant student who became a lawyer. And then he was appointed prefect of Rome, the highest civil office in the city. So now he was in charge of managing the city of Rome, making sure it ran smoothly and well. And he did this with wisdom and fairness. But at the same time, in his heart, he longed for something more, to serve God fully. And so after his father died and he inherited a large sum of money, he used it to build monasteries, and he himself entered one, giving up his riches and honor to live in simplicity as a monk. He loved the quiet life of prayer, study, and service, and he thought this was where God would leave him. But God had bigger plans. For in 590, during a terrible time when Rome was struck by plague, floods, and famine, Gregory was chosen as pope. Now, at first he resisted because he was afraid and he didn't think he was worthy, but eventually he accepted, seeing it as God's will, and so he became the Bishop of Rome, taking on the name Pope Gregory the Great. From then on, he served the church and people with all his heart. He cared for the poor, organized relief during the famine, and sent missionaries to far-off lands like England. For one day, he saw some young boys being sold as slaves from that island, and he was so moved with compassion that he said, "Not angels, but angels." He then immediately began to pray for them, and also sent missionaries to convert the English people to Christianity. And so it was that Gregory the Great became known as the man who converted England to Christ. But he also was a great teacher of the faith, writing books to help guide bishops and priests, and even helping to shape the form of the Mass that we have today. Not to mention, he is also remembered for promoting the style of church music we now call Gregorian chant. And yet, despite all his great accomplishments and authority, he remained humble and always signed his letters as servant of the servants of God, and that title is still used by popes today. Saint Gregory the Great died in 604, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom, compassion, and deep faith. He is remembered as one of the 4 great doctors of the Latin Church, alongside Saints Ambrose, Augustine, and Jerome. And he is also the patron saint of singers and musicians, students, teachers, and the Roman people. He is an amazing saint, but most of all, he is an example of how every one of us, no matter our background or station in life, can serve God in a special way. Now, if you want to learn more about Saint Gregory the Great, I've linked a great resource in the description box below. And also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family so that they, too, can learn about the faith once and for all. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.